Welcome back to the biggest breakups of all time. Now, nothing hurts more than being dissed by an old friend.
And just when we thought the 42nd president was almost like a brother,
there were subtle signs that he might not be completely colorblind.
We tricked Bill into thinking that he was black. He's not black. He hasn't paid his dues as an African American. I don't care if you move into Harlem. He's not a black man.
Strong words from cultural critic Jasmyne Cannick.
It's going to be hard, I think, for the Clintons to bounce back after this is all over with black America.
Jasmyne's statements have echoed other black leaders who have found Bill Clinton's words and tones while stumping for his wife Hillary off-putting. Washington Post columnist Eugene Robinson denounced President Clinton as a cold-blooded political hitman. Many of the ill feelings stem from Bill referring to Obama as kid and to parts of his campaign as a fairy tale. And Hillary did herself no favors in comparing Obama's idealism to Martin Luther King Jr.'s civil rights dreams, which she said were only realized when President Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act. And compounding the damage were statements like this one made by the president following Obama's January primary win in South Carolina.
Jesse Jackson won South Carolina twice, in '84 and '88. And he ran a good campaign, and Senator Obama's run a good campaign here.
It was insinuating that because there are a lot of blacks in South Carolina, that's why he won.
In a few hours' time, you have your chance to confirm that we want change in this country.
In the eyes of Cannick and others, the statement was a put-down of a candidate whose campaign is not based on issues of race, like Jackson's was perceived to be. And the implication was that Obama would not fare well in white-dominated states, which voters have now disproved.
I think that's infuriating to a lot of African Americans because it's giving the notion that blacks are only supporting Barack because he's black, that we're not smart enough to look at the lay of the land and look at the individual candidates not only on their skin color but on, their policies.
For his part, Jesse Jackson was not offended by the statement, saying, "I don't read anything negative into Clinton's observation." And to be fair to Bill Clinton, he was perhaps the first president since the 60s to champion issues relevant to black America, evident in the rise of black communities like Harlem.
This was in one of my first empowerment zones. So when I took office, the unemployment rate in Harlem was 24%. When I left, it was 8%. So I believe in this community, and I believe in the promise of places that a lot of people have given up on. And Harlem's proof positive that it works.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former President of the United States.
The soul food eating, saxophone playing president has established a powerful fan base among blacks, a relationship he continued to cultivate after his presidency by opening his office in Harlem.
It's a real community, and it's a rich part of American history, New York City history, with the music, the churches, the small business people, the street vendors. It's like no place in New York, and I love being here, and they were very good to me. It's good. I feel like I came home. I didn't even eat today. I wanted to come home and get some food.
Back in '04, to the delight of Harlem residents, he made it a point to do a signing of his memoirs at a black-owned bookstore in the area.
I thought he was a great president in my eye. He was the first to move his office to Harlem. He's the first to have his book signed here.
I'm going to introduce him to my son, who's a big fan of all presidents, and thank him for coming into the neighborhood.
And perhaps that is why it has disturbed so many blacks that Bill seemingly played the race card in stumping for his wife's presidential run.
I think the Clintons, period, their reputation and their relationship with blacks has diminished throughout this race, just from the mudslinging. In moments of despair, you do not resort to mudslinging and hitting below the belt.